Bamberg is located in Bavaria, and the history of the town can be traced back to the year 902. A typical German city from the Middle Ages, situated at the River Regnitz, where today the fishermen's houses led to the name Little Venice. Balconies and tiny front gardens have always adorned these small houses, where the fishermen moored directly on the riverbank, and offered their catch for sale in front of the houses on the back end of the street. Goods were also delivered by ship to the foot of the castle hill, then lifted ashore by crane and transported to the markets. The so-called island town spreads out from the river. Originally a swampy area, which was only first drained in the 13th century. From the beginning, the most important markets, such as the Green Market and other facilities of urban life, were located here. The market is located directly in front of today's St. Martin's Church, whose facade looks rather massive in this environment. The church was founded and built by the Jesuit order. In 1610, the Jesuits came to Bamberg as the driving force of the Counter-Reformation. They succeeded in restoring the old Catholic order and leading the Protestants back to the Catholic faith. The old town hall is a particularly interesting building. The famous Gothic structure stands on piles in the middle of the River Regnitz and can only be reached from either side via bridges. As part of the Baroque redesign, the long side facades of the town hall were decorated with paintings by the artist Johann Anwander from 1755 onwards. Since its construction in the 14th century, the town hall has formed the border between the bishop's mountain town and the citizens' island town. It was the citizens' idea to choose this place, since the bishop did not appreciate such a building in his town. And in 1637, a half-timbered house was added, which housed an early form of police. The Bamberg Emperor's Cathedral at the top of the mountain district is not only the most striking building in the old town, but is considered one of the most important sacred buildings in the German-speaking world. Magnificent gates, decorated with beautiful figures of saints, such as the Mary's Gate or the Princess's Portal, are the entrances to the third new cathedral building. The interior is furnished with artistic altars, the Equestrian of Bamberg statue, the Imperial tomb of Henry II, and the Pope's tomb of Clemens II. And over the High East choir, Christ watches as the judge of the world. The 1237 consecrated Bamberger Cathedral is regarded as a building from the period of transition between Romanesque and early Gothic style. A three-nave basilica with 4 towers. German history of the Middle Ages was written here, with German Pope and German Emperor. Just like ancient Rome, Bamberg was built on 7 hills. and the Cathedral Hill is considered the nucleus of the city. In 1693, Archbishop Lothar Franz von Schönborn was elected to power and had the new residence built next to the cathedral. What he had built might be described as construction madness, or perhaps by some as the adornment of the city. A rose garden was also created, with 500 rose bushes of 49 different varieties. The Alten Hofhaltung is one of the oldest building complexes in the city, into which one enters through the beautiful gate. The entrance is decorated with stonemasons' works of art. The thousand-year history can be seen everywhere. In 1007, Henry II established his imperial palace here, which also coexisted as a bishop's seat. Until the completion of the new residence around 1700, the bishops had no main residence on the Cathedral Hill. The Castrum Babenberg, which belonged to the East Franconian dynasty of the older Babenbergs, became this power centre of church and state. The Carmelite monastery was also founded in the 12th century. The old town on the slope of the Castle Hill is the largest intact historical town centre in Germany and has been declared a World Cultural Heritage Site. But it was the beer and the special art to its brewing which also made Bamberg famous. About 70 breweries were established, but the hops they needed came from elsewhere. In front of the old town hall, a bridge over the Regnitz River leads to the castle Geyerswörth, which served the archbishops for representative purposes before the new residence was built. The palace was once splendidly furnished, as individual details still reveal. Nearby is Schillerplatz, where a theatre and a residential building are also reminiscent of another great universal artist of the German language, E.T.A. Hoffmann. The romantic lived here with his Polish wife, Misha, with a magic garden and a small poet's room, and began to write, illustrate and compose. This visit to the city ends at the water castle Concordia. The Baroque castle is picturesquely situated on the banks of the Regnitz, where the great history of Bamberg lives on.